Because of the increased globalization and the formation of these mega mining companies, as well as the merger and acquisition activity that's going on, there's really an increased need for the information management globally across the businesses. And this is driving them to invest more and more in technology, because you can imagine a company like Barrick or Kinross sitting in Toronto with the head office in Toronto, having mines across 5 different continents, trying to report to the TSX at every quarter what their financial results are, all off different systems and different languages. It becomes pretty complex. The other thing which really drives this investment is cost management. If they don't have the data about where costs are being incurred, it becomes extremely difficult to try and manage those costs. Supply chains have become longer and more stretched. They've also become much more complex, because mines are starting to show up in places which are extremely inhospitable and would not even have been contemplated as mining locations years and years ago. So today, for example, we see mining in the Canadian Arctic, we see mining in the far Russian Arctic, in Alaska, in very inhospitable areas in the Atacama Desert in Chile, in Mongolia. Now, these locations have very high supply chain, or put very high supply chain demands on the mining companies. And so the complexity drives them to have very sophisticated systems, but also to try and minimize the cost. That's the real key driver. So one of the best practices which we are for sure seeing in the market is the fact that the large mining companies are absolutely working to standardize their IT systems and platforms so that they have standard platforms and designs across the world. So it becomes very easy for them to, in a glance, see what is going on in different operations, but also at month end and quarter end, they can very quickly understand what their liquidity position and their profitability position is and respond to those things in a much quicker fashion. So let's talk about the skills shortage in the mining industry. The first two that come to mind are really mining engineers and geologists, which are the heartbeat of the mining industry, and that's really where it all starts. And certainly those are a problem. There's not enough of those being trained throughout the world. However, more mundane jobs like truck drivers and maintenance workers and skilled trades are just as much of a problem as the engineers and the geologists. And it's about the cohort of people coming through the training institutions in the various parts of the world, but it's also about having people interested in working so far away from home and working shifts that are 2 weeks on and 2 weeks off.